not big enough. When you look at
If you want to zoom in,
bacteria.
bacteria.
Whoa.
Can you see any bacteria here? My hands clean.
Whoa!
My hands are clean.
I see.
Like
No,
most of
I
them.
see like little hairs.
Yeah. It's you can like doing some autopsy on a flight.
Wow, it looks really cool.
Yeah. It looks scary.
And I think that much of what Julia is doing is making a statement about statements.
How do I define that I'm Christian? Like, okay, there's the feasts, but we're not talking about feasts. We're speaking about daily life. Where in my daily life do I feel, or do I express, or do I know myself that this is something that I'm doing or that I'm not doing because I'm Christian?
Mm-hmm.
They didn't understand what's the essence of Christianity.
Yeah.
And I couldn't tell them. I simply couldn't, because there's nothing.
Does this has to do with symbolism and
Yeah.
traditions?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Because
I'm
most
pretty sure this is the
Christians
reason
say,
why.
I don't really go to church, but I'm Christian in my heart. So you cannot really see it if somebody's.
Yeah, I think I really felt the need to have more than something in my heart, because my heart didn't seem to be very, trustful.
Yeah.
So maybe this is why I put the cross. To have something that is actually, you could see it, you could touch it, you could point at it and say, oh, she is Christian because she's wearing this cross. But it felt.
But why do you? Why? Now, in what sense does it help to have this kind of, can I say, routine in your life, or this form of symbolism?
It didn't help.
No.
This is what I'm exactly saying. It didn't help. It was interesting, but it was more like a game. I put this on my neck and then I see what's happening. And nothing happened.
See if it works, but it didn't.
Yeah, something like this.
But I assume it is working in Judaism.
What?
Like you find a place there, or you became Jewish, you feel happy with that, with your choice.
Yeah.
So the question is, in what sense does the routine or symbolism in Judaism helps you?
Interesting question. First, I'd say that considering symbolism, you find, especially compared to Christianity, very, very little in Judaism. I mean, you have this David stars of David, and you have the menorah every now and since, but I wouldn't consider it to be a religion that's based on pictures.
No, exactly. They're pretty sober.
Yeah. So this is something that's more or less not showing up. Even though there are many people who are like right now discovering that we have many, many symbols, simply that we're not referring to them as symbols.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if I would say
No, but it seems, or from an outsider, that in Judaism, not really concrete stuff like things.
the bread, the wine.
Yeah. Not the things, but more what you do, or the kind of.
It's a routine. It's called also practical religion. It's about the stuff you do. It's much less about the stuff you believe in.
And being aware of what you're
do. And this is also something, I'm not sure if I was looking for help. I maybe was looking for a lifestyle.
But we just were like, oh, we have like almost the same day, so we could do a party together.
Mm-hmm.
So we had a party to plan, and we planned the party, and they came, and we were celebrating at our place.
This was in Israel or in Germany?
In Israel. It was at the end of our year.
Oh.
And I think the weekend after we went to a concert together. And then, like, I talked to her so much that I dared to say, hey, you live in Tel Aviv. And I've actually, like, never spent a weekend in Tel Aviv. So she was like, yeah, come over, visit me. So I actually spent the last weekend that we've been here in Tel Aviv with her. Not the whole weekend, I think one day and one night, and then I went to visit another friend. But this is when we actually started to talk, and we kept on talking. Like then we went back and we had like a homecoming seminar for 10 days. And we kept on talking, we couldn't stop talking. We talked and talked and talked and talked and talked, and we went home, and then she called on the first evening, and we talked and talked and talked. And then she came over because she wanted to study in a place that's very close to the place where my parents lived. So I went with her to search for an apartment, and we slept at a friend's house, like one of my friends' place. And then I went to Berlin, and we didn't see each other for 2 months or something like this. But we like kept on talking and talking and talking on the phone. And yeah, and when she came to Berlin, and we celebrated New Year's Eve together with like a group of people.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of, like, it was the group of the former volunteers, the Israel volunteers. So it was kind of revival. But I realized that I was terribly jealous, because I really felt like she didn't spend enough time with me. I don't know, I was really pissed, and normally I'm not like this. Like, it's kind of hard for me with this thing to tell someone, I want more attention, I want more time.
But
But-
could you figure out for yourself where it was
No.
coming from?
No. I simply thought that Vera didn't behave very well. Because she didn't spend enough time with me, and I was actually very angry. And you know, it was New Year's Eve, and we drank, and I was like, Vera, I need to talk to you. And she was like, okay. Like, she was really like, okay, what's going on? And we went out, and it was raining, like this sort of like snow rain. Awful weather, and it was so freezing cold, but I was so angry that I actually didn't care, and we like went to Berlin, and the streets were all like nasty and ugly because people did a lot of fireworks already. And I was like, Dad, you don't spend enough time, I know normally you don't do this, but this time I really feel pissed and I want more blah 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 blah. And I don't know, something happened this night. I talked and talked and talked, and at some point I started to tremble. And I got really excited about the things that I was like talking about, and I was listening to myself, and I was like, Sonia, what's your point? Like myself didn't understand what my point was, because I kept talking and talking and talking and talking and talking, and at a certain point I was like, oh my god, I'm just saying I